The answer backs are now the drama backs, and for good reason. Get swept, followed by a sweep of their own, back-to-back losses, followed by back-to-back wins. This team is not going to make it easy on fans this year.
You are Locked On Diamondbacks, your daily Arizona Diamondbacks podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up? I'm Dane Biggs. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Today, we're talking about players who are hot, players who are not, and who has shown up and impressed us and who has left a bit to be desired. But before that, let's go ahead and recap the series against the Braves, shall we? So the Diamondbacks are the first, dropped the first two against the Braves, getting outscored 19-2. Then they squeeze out two very close wins to finish the series, outscoring the Braves 8-6. But why do I bring this up? Well, it's because the Diamondbacks scored two or less runs in three of the four games that they played. Pitching sure isn't perfect, but that doesn't seem to be their number one problem anymore. What exactly has happened to the offense? Now, let's go ahead and take a look at Game 1 against the Braves. Game 1 was a blowout, 17-2. A lot of those runs, 9 of those runs came from, James McCann, our catcher, who ended up pitching in the 9th inning. So it's a bit more of a blowout than it would have been otherwise, but they did score 8 runs in the 5th inning. We had pitching for the Diamondbacks, Ryan Nelson, who was our best pitcher last season. So we were thinking, okay, well, this is going to be good. He was credited with 2 earned runs. He gave up a run in the first, gave up a run in the third, and then loaded the bases. I think the bases were loaded with 1 out, and then gets a double play to get out of the inning. But wait, no. It turns out they didn't get the out at first. It was overturned, so it scored a run, and then they just couldn't get the final out. Ryan Nelson was credited with 2 earned runs, but credited with 7 scored runs. He wasn't credited with any of the runs scored after that because he should have gotten out of the inning or whatever, but gave up 7 runs in 4 2/3 innings and just literally just could not get the third out in the 5th inning. They had to bring in Kevin Ginkel, who did record that final out after giving up 3 more runs of his own. So Ryan Nelson, Kevin Ginkel gave up 10 runs in just 1 inning. Is that what it is? Is that what I'm looking at? Yeah, in 1 inning. 8 runs in 1 inning. So not great at that point. At that point, the Diamondbacks had scored 1 run, so it was 2-1. So they were kind of in it. But after that point, not so much. Joe Ross came in, gave up 2 runs in 2 innings after that. Andrew Hoffman did pitch a clean inning. He's the only pitcher in this game who didn't give up any runs. Did give up a walk, gave up a hit, but got 2 strikeouts. And then James McCann came in and gave up 5 earned runs in his inning. James McCann currently has an ERA of 45. So let's see if we can't get that a little lower, James McCann. But not a great outing. And then offense really just didn't do anything. The Diamondbacks did get 6 hits in 9 innings. Perdomo got a hit. Vargas got 2 hits. Arenado got a hit, so that was cool. Jordan Lawlar got his hit. And did anything else happen with Jordan Lawlar in this game? What was it? Oh, yeah, that's right. Jordan Lawlar got hit in the wrist, and it was fractured. Broke his wrist. He's going to be out now. Jordan Lawlar is going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks after hitting his first home run. So Jordan Lawlar scored the first run of the game. Everything was looking good. It's 2-1, cut the lead in half. And, but then, yeah, Jordan Lawlar is going to be out for a good while, which is a shame because Jordan Lawlar has been doing pretty well so far. So that's a big hit right there. Jorge Barrosa also got a hit, got a double. And but that's about it for the offense for the Diamondbacks, unfortunately. So big L, I guess, for the Diamondbacks. Ugh, sorry, I didn't like saying that. I'm not going to say that again. Game 2 was a much different game, though. Game 2, the game was started, or our starting pitcher was Eduardo Rodriguez, who pitched incredibly. Eduardo Rodriguez pitched 7 whole innings, didn't give up a single run, only gave up 4 hits and 1 walk. So very, very good outing from Eduardo Rodriguez. The problem is that the Braves also pitched a really good game and ended up shutting the Diamondbacks out. And up until the 9th inning, it was 0-0. Paul Sewald comes into the 9th and did he get 2 outs before anything? I was going to check that actually. Anyway, Paul Sewald gives up back-to-back solo home runs, and the Diamondbacks ended up losing the game 2-0. Now, a lot of people on Facebook and Twitter were immediately like, this guy sucks. It's Paul Sewald, just like we always knew and stuff. Blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I feel like giving up a solo home run, giving up 2 solo home runs is definitely not good, but it's not like, I feel like it happens. Yeah. I feel like if you give up a solo home run, that's less bad than if it's like, oh, you gave up a single and then a walk and then a double, which happens a lot. Like that we see that a lot. And I feel like we saw that from Paul Sewald a lot when he was with us last time. And when it's two hits, but 2 of them were earned, or were home runs, obviously not good. That's the final number. The final tally is the runs scored. So obviously not good, but I'm not like, oh no, okay, that's it, writing off Paul Sewald. So anyway, but honestly, the Diamondbacks were getting no hit until I think the 6th inning. And when Ketel Marte managed to get a base hit, Alec Thomas also got a base hit, and that's it. I guess Corbin Carroll walked twice, so at least he's getting on base. But that was all we got from our offense, which maybe that's a credit to the Braves pitching. They did do a very good job, so that's I guess that's what they got there. But let's definitely not forget our pitching. Eduardo Rodriguez and Juan Murillo had very good outings through 8. So nothing, not the worst outing in the world for the D-backs. Again, good pitching. And if we're going to take anything away from that, let's take that away. But then game 3, offensively, wasn't much better. Game 2, we had 2 hits. Game 3, we only had 4 hits. And 3 of those hits came back to back in the second when who was first? Was it it was Moreno. So it wasn't back to back. Moreno got a single, Arenado got a single, and then Fernandez got a bunt single. That would have been a single, by the way, just so we all know. It was a bunt single he would have reached, but the pitcher threw it away and caused an error, which scored Moreno and Arenado, which gave us the lead. The Braves also scored a run off of Michael Soroka in the second, and that was all the offense from both teams. That's pretty much it. So the Diamondbacks were able to hold on, which is, I guess, also a credit to their pitching. But the Diamondbacks weren't able to score anything other than that themselves. So, but a great outing from Soroka. Again, 1 earned run, but off of 4 hits. And so not a bad outing from him at all. I was kind of afraid to see Soroka devolve a bit because his first outing was very good. But no, he pitched a really good outing as well. This time, Taylor Clark, Jonathan Loaisiga, Juan Murillo, Paul Sewald, all had a great outing. Paul Sewald, funny, was asked about the night before, and he said he flushed the loss with dinner and a movie and was back. So he's like, I'm going to have dinner, I'm going to watch a movie, and then I'm going to go back to work. And that's exactly what he did. He pitched in a very, very close game and got the save. But offense, not really much to speak of again. However, yesterday's game, game 4, the Diamondbacks did show up offensively quite a bit more. They, who was it that had the start again? Brandon Pfaadt had the start. Sorry, I promise I know all these things. I watch all the games. I just sometimes early morning brain fog. Brandon Pfaadt got the start, gives up a run to start the game with a home run. But then in the bottom of the first, they answer right back. Geraldo Perdomo hits a sac fly that scores Ketel Marte. That, by the way, amazing defensive play to get him out. Perdomo, I mean, that should have been a double, but with a diving catch in outfield, it was limited to a sac fly. And then from there, the Diamondbacks score 2, the Braves score 2. In the very next inning, the Diamondbacks score 1, the Braves score 1, the Diamondbacks score 1, the Braves score 1. And so it's back and forth all night. And then in the bottom of the 10th, Ketel Marte walks it off in the very first pitch of the 10th to get the win. So very back and forth. But the Diamondbacks ended up getting 9 hits. Standout from the game was Corbin Carroll, who had a single, and another single followed with a stolen base, and then a triple. So Corbin Carroll, really good outing, went 3 for 4. Ketel Marte went 2 for 5, scored 1, and then had the game-winning RBI as well. Nolan Arenado got an RBI single, his first RBI of the year. Carlos Santana got a hit. How about that? Ildemaro Vargas came in, had a 2-run triple, and Jorge Barrosa had a double as well, scored twice. So pretty good outing. Not exactly like the biggest, offensive outing that we're kind of used to, but the Diamondbacks did end up getting the win 6-5. But let's go ahead and talk about who we are excited about, who has shown, like in these last 10 games, who is looking good. And we'll also talk about who is not looking so good. The MLB season is back, and you can feel it. Fresh starts, big expectations, and the first crack of the bat. Whether it's a breakout rookie or a division race that goes down to the wire, there's nothing like being in the ballpark for it. The only problem, getting tickets can feel like a grind. Long queues, surprise fees, prices jumping at checkout. That's where there's Game Time. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage with constant innovation. It's how you unlock amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. It's simple to use. The Game Time guarantee means you get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. And here's the best part. Fees are included in the price you see. So the price you see is the price you pay, period. The seat views feature is huge. I can see the panoramic view from my exact seat before I even buy it. Zone deals let me pick the section and then save even more while Game Time selects the seats. If you're looking to save a few bucks, you can also follow your favorite team and get alerts when new deals drop. You can, with 2 taps, it's done. No stress, no hidden fees, just great seats in minutes. That's what makes it so easy to decide last minute to hit a game. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON, all one word, locked on, for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. And we're back. And I wanted to say, as always, thank you so much for making Locked On Diamondbacks your first listen of the day. And don't forget to check out the Everydayer Club for ad-free episodes and access to a group chat with me and other listeners of the show. Tap the link in the show notes or go to lockedondiamondbacks.supercast.com. So I am happy to say that there are a good number of players on the D-backs that are giving us a very impressive start. And some of them more so than others, but for at least all of these players that I want to talk about are doing better than I expected, which is good because I was, expecting good things from a lot of players. So we have a lot of hitters and we have a lot of pitchers. So let's go over them. Let's go ahead and start with Corbin Carroll, who had a great game yesterday. Again, went 3 for 4 with 2 singles, a triple, and a stolen base. Corbin Carroll has been looking pretty good. I mean, yeah, he's been looking good, which we were worried for Corbin Carroll because of the hamate bone surgery thing. But he's already had 2 home runs, which was a decider against the Tarek Skubal game. So he has a home run against Tarek Skubal, the best pitcher in baseball. He has 9 RBIs. He has an average of 313. And has been looking really, really great. 9 RBIs. He's only had, now I'm going to say this once. I'm not going to say this again. It's a small sample size. You've heard me say that a lot. I'm sorry. 32 at-bats, not a ton. But in the first 10 games, Corbin Carroll is looking really, really good. Also, defensively, he's been looking amazing. He's saved, he has gotten a lot of plays that shouldn't have, that should have resulted in base hits, extra base hits. He has helped out the pitching a ton in that regard, and he has saved a lot of runs by getting the ball in crazy fast. We've been seeing when we first saw Corbin Carroll, he was not known for his arm strength out in the outfield. Last year, he showed tremendous growth in that regard, and this year, I think it's catching on, and players are not running on him quite as often because he's able to get that ball in real quick. So I guess that during the spring when he wasn't able to practice his swinging and he was only able to use his throwing arm, he sure put that to good use. Anyway, so good for Corbin Carroll. Happy to see that. One of our big 3 really making it. Jose Fernandez, I'm also going to shout out. Jose Fernandez had a really good first outing and hasn't done a ton since, but what a first outing. I mean, he has 2 home runs, including the go-ahead home run to give the Diamondbacks the win. He has 4 RBIs. He's only had 16 at-bats and 4 hits, but that gives him a 250 average. He has a stolen base. Defensively has been doing really well. 2 starts at first, which is good. Sorry, am I jumping ahead? We need a first baseman. We need a good first baseman.
You might be, but
he also played a game at third. I'm not gonna. That's okay. We're not talking about nothing yet. We're not talking about anything yet.
Nothing.
But he's had a really good outing so far.
We're being positive right now.
He got called up after Pavin Smith was put on the IL. So, which we obviously weren't hoping for Pavin Smith to go on the IL, but we weren't surprised either. Pavin Smith struggles with staying healthy. So, but he goes down. Jose Fernandez comes up and wins the game for us. So not too shabby. Another one who's been doing really well. Sorry, I'm allergic to Pavin Smith going on the injured list, apparently. I also need to talk about Ildemaro Vargas, which it wasn't a surprise to see him make the opening day roster, but he hasn't had a ton of outings. He's only had 11 at bats so far. He is, the backup, I guess you could say. He comes into a lot of games part way through. He very rarely starts a game, but in the 11 at bats, he has 6 hits, a home run, which was a pinch hit home run, I believe.
No, he started that one.
Did he start that game?
Yeah.
Okay. So not a pinch hit home run, but 6 hits, a home run, 4 RBIs. I mean, yeah, he's got 545 average, so that's not bad. That'll definitely that's gonna stick throughout the whole season. But not too bad defensively. Has been looking really good as well. So can't really complain there. So hope to see more of Ildemaro Vargas and see what he can do. Been enjoying that. I expected him to do well, like to be productive. I don't know that I was expecting him to be quite this productive though. Also, by all accounts, his rapport in the locker room and his energy has been like a huge factor for the team thus far. Apparently he's just everybody's best friend. Like he's like the definition of a bro's bro. So that's also very good. Jordan Lawlar has been doing really well. Of course, he's on the IL now, and he will be for a long time. But in 18 at-bats, 6 hits, his first home run, 2 RBIs, a stolen base, definitely looking pretty good. Hoping that when he gets back, he's able to continue that. But, yeah, definitely unfortunate development there. But getting hit in the hand is, I think, not that I'm like ranking injuries, right? But there are injuries that like are external injuries, like you get hit with a baseball or somebody runs into you or something. And then there are injuries that are like more chronic and just indicative of like, oh, they're playing wrong, or they're some mechanic is injuring them over and over again. And so this is the kind of injury that's like, it's external. When he comes back, there's no indication that he's going to continue to be injured. I don't know that he has much of an injury or much of a history getting injured, actually. Like even in Reno, did he go an outing with?
He missed pretty much an entire season, I think 24, with nagging injuries.
Oh, was that what? Okay,
yeah.
Which, yeah, I'm trying to look through his transaction history, and yeah, it looks like in 24. Yep, 24. He was on the 60-day IL at one point. I wasn't following his injury status at that point, so but anyway, very interesting stuff. So anyway, here's to hoping that he gets a speedy recovery and is back and better than ever when he gets back. I also wanted to shout out Jorge Barrosa. Has been doing a very good job. Jorge Barrosa, my expectations were not super high. My hopes were, but my expectations kind of low, and I feel like he is performing better than what I expected. 13 at-bats, he has 3 hits. All of those hits are for doubles, so he's definitely got the power. He doesn't have a home run or an RBI yet, but he has scored 3 runs. So each time he gets on base, he scores. So that's not bad. He doesn't have any walks, it would appear, actually. I'm just now seeing. Yeah, he has not walked once. His on-base percentage and his batting average are the same, which is funny. He only has 4 strikeouts, which isn't like, I mean, only, it's not great, but it's not like he's striking out every single time he goes out there. So, and he does have a few home runs in spring training. So we know that that's on the table. So I think Jorge Barrosa still just needs to get some reps. And with Jordan Lawlar on the IL, I expect we'll see that. So here's hoping that he continues to exceed expectations. Now for pitching, I have to say Eduardo Rodriguez and Michael Soroka both are doing, honestly, like way better than I expected. What I was hoping for was this, but way better than what I expected. In 2 games, Michael Soroka has given up only 1 run. And then Eduardo Rodriguez in 2 games has given up 0 runs. So looking pretty good. 12 innings pitched, by the way, from Eduardo Rodriguez. 5 in one game, 7 in the other. So he'll go deep into the game. Michael Soroka has 10 innings pitched, 5 in each outing. Now, Michael Soroka, I'll say, watching him inning to inning, he doesn't feel like super dominant, but like I feel like if you look at just the stat line, it's a little bit misleading, but at the same time, like you can't argue with the final result. So if he's able to keep that up, then he's doing great. He's given up, Soroka's given up 8 hits in those 10 innings, which is not very much. He has 4 walks, but again, only 1 earned run, 13 strikeouts in 10 innings, which is really good. He pitched an immaculate inning, which does not happen very often. He's only the 4th Diamondback to do that. So yeah, pretty good. We were there for that. We were there for that. And half the crowd,
by pitch 8, that's when we were like, wait a second.
Yeah, half the crowd on pitch 8 stood up and started cheering, and I think the other half was like, why is everybody cheering so hard? like I get it, he's about to strike the guy out, but like, why is everybody freaking out? I had to check with the people around me after. I was like, did you guys catch that? And they're like, yeah, we caught it. I'm like, no, but it was an immaculate inning. He 9 pitches, 9 strikes. Yeah, we got it. And I'm like, okay. That actually happened.
They didn't get that. It was such a big deal.
Yeah, they were like, sure, whatever. Yeah, that was probably what it was. They noticed it, but they were like, so anyway, I made it.
It'll happen again tomorrow, right?
It's gonna happen again tomorrow. So yeah. When who's pitching tomorrow? Is it Gallen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Zach Gallen's gonna pitch an immaculate inning tomorrow.
In New York. He loves pitching in New York.
There you go. I also wanted to shout out Zach Gallen, who's been very well. He had one really bad inning, and that's it. If you look at he's pitched 10 innings. He pitched four clean innings against the Dodgers, and then gave up 4 earned runs in the 5th. And then against the Tigers, he pitched 6 innings without giving up any runs. So without that one inning, Zach Gallen is really, really good. Of course, that's not how we measure things. So, but still, worth noting, Zach Gallen has been doing much better than I expected him to be doing. So that's good. And then finally, I want to also shout out Paul Sewald and Jonathan Loaisiga. They are both doing better than I expected. And I say that too, because they come out and I feel good about that, what they've been able to do. They seem like they're in control. Paul Sewald, very on brand, loud outs where he'll give up a line drive or a pop fly that goes 350 feet, 400 feet, and just barely misses, the center field wall, but gets the out nonetheless. But other than the back-to-back home runs he gave up in this last series, he hasn't given up any runs. And then Jonathan Loaisiga, he did blow the save in yesterday's game with a handful of base hits. Other than that, hasn't given up any runs either. So I'm definitely liking what's going on there. Loaisiga does have a history of getting injured, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But both of these guys are doing a pretty darn good job, and I'm looking forward to what we got from them. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the other side. Players who are not performing to the expectations or the hopes that we had for them. It's tax time, but for a lot of us, the old way of doing taxes is a lot. Trying to book an appointment that's not the most convenient, sitting in a waiting room with a stack of papers, emailing back and forth and wondering if they really get your situation. But this year, you're getting a major upgrade. Intuit TurboTax now has in-person locations nationwide. You can meet face-to-face with a real tax expert, and your documents get uploaded straight to your TurboTax app on the spot. And just like that, you're done. Your TurboTax expert works to get you every dollar you deserve while you get real-time notifications as you go about your day. It's the relief of walking in and meeting a real person and walking out knowing your taxes are being handled right. Head to turbotax.com/local to find a store near you and book your appointment. The season is still early, and as I said, small sample size, but so with most of these players, it's just a matter of getting going, and and they should have a fantastic season. I think a lot of these guys, but many fans, many people are already calling it quits on some of these guys, and I don't fully disagree with some of them. Let's start. Carlos Santana has not. I mean, yeah, I didn't expect Carlos Santana to be like one of our big production guys. Okay. I wasn't like, hoping a ton for Carlos Santana, but in 24 at bats, I was expecting a little bit more than 2 base hits. Is that just me?
No,
I was expecting a little bit more from Carlos Santana. He has, yeah, I was going to say he has 2 hits. He has 2 walks, and that's it. 8 strikeouts. One of those hits was a double, I guess. That's something. Yeah.
Great.
I only know that because I'm looking at a stat line. I don't remember. But yeah, it's not looking good for Carlos Santana. He got a hit in yesterday's game, but then left the game because when he took a pitch. He took a pitch and sprained his groin or pulled something. Which I mean, listen, I've I've hurt myself doing a lot less. So I'm not gonna fault him for getting injured there. But maybe this is a chance to let some other first baseman get a shot. I don't know. Should we DFA Carlos Santana right now? I don't know. I think let him come back, and maybe that's what he needs or something. I don't know. But that needs to be on the table, is Carlos Santana getting cut. We only spent $2 million on him. We got him knowing this was going to be a possibility. And yeah, there's going to have to be a point where it's like we can't afford just an out every single time he comes through the order. Now, he's not the only one struggling offensively. And he's not the only one struggling offensively that we're like, oh, we were expecting this. Like Nolan Arenado. We kind of knew Nolan Arenado wasn't going to be what he always has been. But we kind of hoped maybe. And he's doing a little better. He has 6 hits in 30 at-bats, which gives us a 200 average instead of a 0.018 or whatever it was for Santana. He scored 3 times. He hit his first RBI the other day or yesterday. So that's cool. He's walked only once, which is interesting. He makes a lot of contact, though. He doesn't strike out a ton, but it's the sort of thing where, like, watching him live, and we were watching him from the nosebleed seats, so we could see him from above. But you can see this on the broadcast too, is with other players, the bat speed, like the speed of their hands is like, good, right? But with him, and then with Santana as well, it's so slow. He has to start his swing so much earlier. And his ability to put the bat on the ball and put his bat on the ball effectively is so limited because of that. And I don't know if that's an old age thing. I don't know if that's because pitchers are just throwing a lot faster now. But it's definitely like when he gets a hit, it feels like it's because he closed his eyes and took a big hack and got a hit. So that's where Nolan Arenado is looking at for me. And then his offense or his defense, I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. He's got some really impressive plays, but at the same time, the errors are kind of tacking on. So I don't even know that that's necessarily the reason to keep him on. And then Santana, same thing. It's not like I don't feel like Santana's defense is necessarily justifying keeping him on. Arenado, I don't expect us to cut him, but bench him, maybe. I could see that potentially happening. A couple other guys I want to throw out there. Ketel Marte has been slow starting. In his post-game interview yesterday and in the locker room, he was saying that he's waiting to get hot, or he's needing to get hot is what he was saying. And after getting the game-winning base hit that won the game yesterday in extras, he's saying, I just need to get hot. Me and like Perdomo, we need to get hot. And they're like, what are you talking about? You're already hot. And he's like, I need to get hot. I'm not right now. And so he recognizes that. He showed some frustration at some points in yesterday's game as well when popping out and stuff. He has 7 hits and 38 at bats, which gives him a 184 average. So not great. He does have 3 RBIs and a home run on the season so far. So it's definitely not like silent, but we expect more from him. And I expect it to heat up pretty quickly. Geraldo Perdomo is another guy he mentioned Perdomo. I didn't mention Perdomo. He mentioned Perdomo. Perdomo is also a guy who has not really done much. He hit a home run in the very first game of the season. But other than that, he's had 1 other RBI, which was yesterday on a sac fly, which was a very good play. Should have been a double, but whatever. That's fine. He has a stolen base, 6 hits and 33 at bats. He has a 182 average. So he's not performing to where we were expecting either. But both of these guys, I think they're going to get hot. And when they do, it's going to be big stuff. Really quick, just to kind of wrap things up as well. Alek Thomas also not performing to the level we were hoping he would after spring training. I think maybe, we just need to see him get going again, but he's kind of looking like standard Alek Thomas. whereas last season or during spring he was looking like he'd turned a corner. So we'll see how that goes. He's still laying off the pitches that he wasn't laying off of last season, but there's a good number of ugly swings and weak contact that results in outs, a lot of strikeouts. So I included on here Joe Ross, who was DFA'd and then sent to Reno. So he is with the Aces right now. Joe Ross, every time he comes out, seems to give up a bunch of runs.
Oh no.
So I don't know that we'll be seeing much of Joe Ross unless we absolutely need him, or if he figures it out in AAA. I was kind of surprised that he made the opening day roster in the first place. So, but we'll see. And then finally, I also included on here Ryan Nelson, just because I could have included Brandon Pfaadt as well. Ryan Nelson, Brandon Pfaadt, kind of in the same boat. They pitch well and then they have a bad inning and they just get blown up. And that's what happened with Ryan Nelson in the last game. That's what happened with his game against the Dodgers. Is he pitches a good game, but there's one inning where he gives up 4 runs, or a game where he gives up 7 runs, and each game he gave up 2 home runs. He's given up what was it? He's given up 5 hits so far. 4 of them are home runs. So want to get that under control for sure. And again, just want to he's pitched what, 10 innings, parts of 10 innings, and in 8 of those innings he's phenomenal, but 2 of them not so phenomenal. So want to get that figured out. He has what it takes to be an ace pitcher. That's why he's on here, just because I think he's not quite living up to that just yet, but lots of season left. We'll see how he does in his next outing. But that is the show. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Locked On Diamondbacks. We're on YouTube as well as every other place you get your podcasts. If you want to see more of me, you can find more of my YouTube channel and YouTube channels and projects on my website, slackshack.tv. If you never miss an episode, remember the Everydayer Club is built for you. Get Locked On Diamondbacks ad-free, plus members-only Discord access and more. Head to lockedondiamondbacks.supercast.com to join the club. Thanks again, and I will see you tomorrow.